When you're starting your career in your first full-time job or any of your interns or co-ops, I would recommend finding a good resource to be a mentor. It might be an upperclassman in your department. It might be someone who's already graduated or someone that you meet in your job, but find someone who's a good person to ask questions to. And make sure that you use them and remember that they have a lot of experience that you can draw on. My other advice would be to always respect the opinions and value the input from the operators, the maintenance technicians that you work with. They often have a skill set and a knowledge base that we didn't develop in our college careers, and they can give you invaluable information to help you solve your problems.
When starting out with a company, either you're having, an internship, a co-op, or maybe you're starting full-time, I think there's a lot of things to keep in mind to really start yourself off on the right foot. I think making a good first impression is key, and then building trust within your organization is vital to get anything done. I think some of the things in order to build trust, there's a lot of literature out there. Read up on how to build trust and some basic skills in order to execute, in order to build that foundation. But I think like being reliable, showing up on time, having your work done ahead of time, not procrastinating, not delivering things late, doing what you say, following up and doing what you say you're going to do. Follow up on your actions and go above and beyond. I think all of these things, I think we do well as a chemical engineering student. I think we need to make sure that we continue it and even improve upon some of those things that we might have deficiencies in. And I think exhibiting a lot of those characteristics will build trust in your organization and allow you to be more successful and execute projects more successfully with your team.
Another very important piece of advice to make sure you do well in your early career is something I call technical credibility. This is basically meaning that you do what you say, you follow up on what you tell your supervisors that you're going to do, you take accountability for your actions. If you make a mistake or something goes wrong, you face up to it, you talk about it, you make corrections, and you show leadership in that way. If you build technical credibility in your early career, that'll go a long way to have management trust that you're going to be the person that they can count on to get the job done, to tell it correctly and honestly, and build trust not only in your own organization, but organizations like your business partners and so forth. A lot of times, the businesses will make decisions solely on, do they trust you and what you're saying? And when you say that something is going to go a certain way, they have to trust that they believe it's going to happen that way. So technical credibility is a very critical characteristic that you need to be very careful of. It's something that takes a long time to build, and you can lose it in an instant with one falsehood or misstatement or lie. So build your technical credibility and guard it like it's gold.
So it is okay to feel like you have no idea what to do and you're going to get fired and there's no way this is going to work out. I didn't learn any of this in school. It's all going to be okay. Find the people that are senior engineers that have been at the places you're working for several years. They are the people to go to for help. They are the people to go to ask questions. Everybody knows you're new, everybody knows you're learning, and if you go in there with an open ear and a lot of drive and a lot of motivation and you're willing to learn, everything will work itself out.
As an early in career chemical engineer, it's critical that you find a mentor. Find someone at your new company that you find as a person you can go to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions to them because you need to learn and they understand you need to learn as a new employee. Also make sure that whenever you do some technical work that you have someone double check your work for you because you never know what they'll find, but also how you'll learn from them in that process.
One of the things that really, it's hard to understand exactly where your career will take you, and I think just being open to new opportunities is the key to really having a successful career. Just take the opportunities that come to you and allow that to be your path.
when you're first starting out, everything is fresh. You have the opportunity to learn, to develop. As you get further into your career, you'll be hampered down with other responsibilities. So develop as much as you can, as quickly as you can. The beginning of your career is where you have the best chance for growth. As you continue to go through your career, you want to be able to build on that. So having that initial building block and having that initial core foundation, it has always been fundamental for me in my growth. The opportunities that I get working in a small company have given me the expertise and a lot of different career pathway growth chances that some people may not get in a larger firm, and it has helped me develop at a faster rate than anticipated. And it's been rewarding to be able to work with C-level executives in such an early point in my career.
Recognize that you do not have all the answers. Learn as much as you can. Go talk to some of the senior people, not just senior engineers, but if you're in a plant, talk to the technicians, the people that are working on the floor, and just ask them questions. Stay focused on doing your initial assignment to the best of your ability, and do not worry about your next promotion or your raise, because if you do your first job well, if you meet your objectives, you show a little bit of leadership. And I say that because even though you may not be in a managerial role, any engineer can show leadership at any stage of their career. So if you do your job well, learn from other people, show leadership, take ownership and accountability for what you do, the promotions and the raises will follow, and you'll do well in your initial starting point in the career.
Doing the more traditional kinds of things like being on time, doing what people ask you to do in a timely manner, and actually doing more than what they've asked you to do to sort of take the next step and maybe suggest things beyond what the work that they've actually given you will put you in good stead with the older generation who are going to be making the decisions about whether or not you are eventually hired.